Hey everybody, how you doing? Bruce here, Traveling with Bruce. Welcome to the show and to my channel. We are live for, what is it today, Wednesday?
Hey everybody, how you doing? Bruce here, Traveling with Bruce.
I think it is Wednesday. I think it is Wednesday, and it is May the, is it May the 2nd or May the 1st? You know, I thought yesterday was May the 1st. It's May the 1st today. That's right. You know, working on it. Wednesday, May the 1st, 2019. I'm having way too much fun here trying to keep up with all the days and everything else I'm doing. I'm not in my usual locale, which is Creston, as you know. I am right now in Calgary, Alberta. Welcome one and all from Calgary. I'm just going to try to adjust my bandwidth a little higher and see if that's going to help things. Let me know how the picture looks to you when you see me coming on the air, if you're watching a commercial or not. Hope that's working out. Thank you for joining me one and all from Traveling with Bruce. We love talking about cruise ships, cruise ship news, what's happening in the cruise ship world and everything else. And got some news today, definitely, about the cruise ship world. There's all kinds of stuff going on, and there could be some major issues coming up here in a very short period of time. I better get to that. First of all, I did a video. I just posted a video not too long ago, probably in the last hour and 20 minutes. It was a video all about St. Lucia in the Caribbean. St. Lucia is an island just a bit north of Venezuela and Trinidad and Tobago, a little north of that. But south of St. Thomas and St. Vincent. So it's on the Leeward Islands in the Caribbean. Apparently, on Monday, Tuesday of this week, just a couple days ago, a ship came into harbor in St. Lucia, and it was confirmed that on board was an individual not feeling well, and they did a quick blood test, and they found out that the individual has measles, and this is the first case of measles on any kind of a cruise-related cruise ship, anything like that. And this has created unbelievable amounts of consternation and issues. The Port Authority in St. Lucia and the health authority, the folks in the health department for the country of St. Lucia, they had to make a decision. What are we going to do here? And they made the decision to immediately quarantine the entire ship. So the ship is in port. However, no one is allowed off the ship. No one is allowed on the ship. The ship is in effect quarantined until the ship is measles free. Problem is, all members of the crew, all passenger members are marooned on the ship. You're not going anywhere. The ship can't go for a sail. She's going to stay where she is, and in effect, it's a waiting game is what's going on. We're waiting to see if anyone else gets ill. Can you imagine being a fellow passenger on this vessel? Now, I have not been able to determine the actual name of the vessel yet officially. There's a lot of speculation going on about who this is. I can tell you this much. I do know that it is not one of the major cruise lines. So it is not any of the Carnival lines. So that would mean Carnival, Princess, Holland America, Cunard, Costa, Ada. It's none of those major lines. It's not Royal Caribbean, so that wouldn't mean that. Also, it takes out Celebrity, and it's not Norwegian. So the big three plus MSC as number 4, and even Viking. I can even tell you Viking Ocean Cruises. None of those ships are involved in this story. But the mere fact that a passenger on a ship, which I believe holds 300 people, if I've got this right, has succumbed to measles on board a cruise ship means that either the passenger brought it on board with them, which is the most likely case, or they've caught it from someone else. The other question is, everyone else on the ship, crew and passengers alike, the question now is, will any of them become infected? You can imagine that if you were the ship's doctor, I can guarantee you this: if you're the ship's doctor, they will have quarantined the passenger for that ship in her cabin as well. So there's no way that this passenger will be allowed to just walk anywhere on the ship this passenger wants to go. No way. The cabin, the people who are attending to this passenger will have all had their shots, will all be immune from catching it, but will still have face masks on and gloves, and we'll look after this person in a clean as an environment as humanly possible, so that this outbreak of measles doesn't spread to anyone else. Well, what I wonder about, and I wanted to bring to your attention today as viewers of my channel, you know I like to follow the cruise line business. And can you imagine right now, the story in the United States is a dominant story, this measles story. A lot of folks out there have refused to get shots due to religious grounds, due to fears of unfounded medical side issues and side effects, and it just goes on and on and on. The conspiracy theories out there these days are so ridiculous that there are those who are vulnerable enough and gullible enough to believe some of this stuff and are not getting their children or themselves vaccinated when they should be. Measles was all but eradicated out of all of North America, if not virtually the planet, up until a few years ago. And then the so-called conspiracy theorists started coming in with these ridiculous notions, and little pockets of people have not been getting immunized. And lo and behold, guess what? We're starting to see cases of measles. Now, in the U.S., there are now I want to say upwards of 25,000 people infected. I don't quote me on that. Don't be too hard on me if I'm wrong. But there are a number of places in the USA where measles has reappeared. I know Washington State has been talked about a lot in the last few months, but there are cases in New York City and other large cities. And what I worry about is a passenger going on a cruise. Just from my angle, being a cruise guy, love to talk about cruise ships and cruise holidays. Wondering if an individual is trying to get to an airport from their hometown to catch a plane to get to their cruise ship to get on a cruise. And you got to wonder how many people are contacting the passengers of, say, let's say Symphony of the Seas. 6,000 passengers are coming into Miami to get on that ship. Well, maybe 2,000 are driving in from local areas, 4,000 are flying in. 4,000 people on airplanes, hotel rooms, subway systems, train systems, the number of folks that these 4,000 would have contacted out in the world out there, plus the 2,000 locals who are contacting locally people as well. The odds of measles not showing up on a big cruise ship, to me, are minuscule. It's going to happen. I just throw my hands up in the air and go, this is going to happen. There's going to be a case sooner or later where a cruise ship coming out of Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Port Canaveral, New York City, Baltimore, pick your favorite port where thousands and thousands of people are congregating and coming and going. It only takes one person to catch the virus, and all of a sudden everyone is vulnerable. And if you're on a cruise ship for 7 days, look how fast norovirus spreads on a cruise ship if not treated properly. Just think about the measles. If it's a crew member, we've really got a problem. If it's a chef, we've got a nightmare. If the chef does not know that they are carrying the virus and haven't shown signs yet after 3 or 4 or 5 days on a cruise, then they start showing symptoms, they may have infected thousands of people through just handling of food and what have you. I don't want to panic any of you guys, but I'm just trying to tell you the reality of the world in which we live in. We are now so mobile, and we're so able to go from time zone to time zone, continent to continent, that no one is immune or safe from contact of any kind of a virus. Within 48 hours to 72 hours, most of the planet will have intermingled from someone else from somewhere far, far away. Willingly or not willingly, it's going to happen. Whether you're just in line at McDonald's trying to get an order in for a burger and fries, or whether you're in a shopping mall, it doesn't matter whether you're going on an airplane ride or whether you're going through an airport or going on a cruise ship. And I wonder what will happen. How will this go down when a passenger on a large cruise ship shows signs of the measles and the entire ship has to be quarantined? This is the big one. 300 people on a ship is one thing. 6,000 plus 2,000 crew, 8,000 people on a ship have to be quarantined for up to 2 weeks. Think about that. 2 weeks you might have to be quarantined, and you're in harbor, you're in a port. You could be in port in St. Thomas. You could be in Grand Cayman. You could be in Cozumel. You could be in Fairbanks, Alaska. You could, wherever the ship is, wherever you are, you're there and you're staying there. And think about that many people having to be quarantined because no one can get off, no one else can get on. Think of all the flights to be canceled from the folks who are, not going to get home on time. The folks coming in on the next trip and the next trip and maybe the next trip, if it's 6,000 passengers at a time, we're talking 18,000 more passengers, all have to be delayed, postponed, canceled, you name it, air tickets, everything knocked out, hotel reservation. It just goes on and on. This is a nightmare. And this can happen, this could happen this summer, and we could have maybe one ship affected. We could have 15 ships affected, and it could be global. This is not a USA problem. This is not a Canada problem. It's not a third world problem. It's not a problem where, only poor countries will have this. This is happening right now. There are cases of measles happening in some of the nicest neighborhoods in the United States of America. It doesn't matter. And so any American, any Canadian is vulnerable to catching the disease, and if they haven't been immunized, for sure. Even if you have been, if it's been a long time and the booster shot isn't effective anymore, you might be vulnerable. And this could be global. And so I worry about that. I wonder about it because the second story that I was going to talk about today is all about Royal Caribbean. I'm talking about Royal Caribbean today. How I noticed this morning, I was looking at the quotes on the stock market, and I noticed that the shares of Royal Caribbean went up $8.50 a share today, right off the get-go. Whoop, big jump, 7.5% jump in value. First thing this morning, what would cause cruise lines shares to run up that much in value? There's only two things that I know of that would do that. The number one thing would be a takeover, and that's not happening. No one's taking over Royal Caribbean, too big. The second one would be extremely good news. And yes, apparently the stock market today has the perception of really good news coming out of Royal Caribbean's financials. They've released their latest financials. They exceeded their earnings projections, their cash flow, and they painted a very rosy future for the company going forward with regards to how many passengers they're going to carry, what they're getting per passenger, what their net profits are going to be, and company's doing well. Well, two little bits of news are inside this report, which I was looking for, and I was happy to see. The first bit of news is the Royal Caribbean company admitted that higher oil prices, and as you know, a barrel of oil nowadays is in that $60-something range. The increase in oil has affected the future profit projections of Royal Caribbean. Everyone else, obviously, as well. But in the case of Royal Caribbean, they've already admitted that they think their future earnings are going to be affected by 25 cents a share going forward by higher oil prices. So they've come clean with that, no hiding that fact. The second thing they've come clean about, which I'm very pleased to see, is they have mentioned the incident with regard to the Oasis of the Seas. The Oasis of the Seas was badly damaged in Freeport, Bahamas, about 3 weeks ago. Crane crashed into the back of the ship. There was damage caused by the dry dock as the ship slipped off the dry dock moorings. And the ship has been out of service. It has not been hosting a passenger now for over a month. And it will not be hosting a passenger until next week. We're told May the 5th from Barcelona. The ship will start to sail the Mediterranean. That incident, the Oasis of the Seas, the whole story, the repair and the lack of cash flow from Oasis is going to result in a 25 cent per share earnings miss for the company. But despite that, despite missing 25 cents a share in earnings from the Oasis, and despite the fact that the company admits they're not going to make another 25 cents a share in profit because of higher fuel costs that they had projected a year ago, that 50 cent a share number, they're still projecting over $9.50 a share in net profits for the next year. And the investors are going, this is great, this is fantastic, because the investors out there are doing the mathematics, and they're saying that where the stock price is these days, the stock is only trading at 12.5 times forward earnings. and they feel that the shares could trade at 13.5 times forward earnings. They feel that the shares are undervalued compared to other cruise line pricing. I want to throw out there the other wild card, which I just talked about a few minutes ago, and that is measles. I'm worried that there won't be a cruise ship damaged by a dry dock incident. There won't be a cruise ship having to deal with high oil prices that could knock the numbers out. What worries me is if 20 cases of measles shows up on a number of these different ships, and some of them are Royal Caribbean's own ships. You may find that one of the Oasis class ships and one of the Freedom class ships and another version of a Royal Caribbean ship might all be out of commission because of a measles issue, a quarantine issue. And we're talking, like I said, 1, 2, or 3 weeks in time before the all clear is given, and then you're only clear until the next case of measles shows up. This isn't like we're talking about the measles only show up in May every year or June every year. Measles can happen and strike at any time all during the year. This is not a winter disease. This isn't like a whooping cough or a, you know, an issue you get because it got cold outside. Measles are anytime, anywhere, from anywhere in the planet. And the exposure that Royal Caribbean has, Norwegian, Carnival in particular, Carnival, 106 different ships, there could be a case here where if 1% or 3% or 5% of all cruise ships get hit with this going forward, you got to wonder, are these numbers going to be that solid? Could Royal Caribbean, and I'm just using it as an example because they released their earnings today. That's the only reason I'm saying it. Royal Caribbean released their earnings today. What if a $1 a share hit is going to be coming on the shares, the profitability of the company because of measles outbreaks? It's the what if. We don't know. That would bring the stock down 8.5% or more in a day or worse. This is one of those things we just do not know. I know that the Oasis of the Seas, its own issue is 25 cents a share, and that is damage, repair, and lack of income. Obviously, a ship that is taken offline for a quarantine is not a damaged ship, but it is obviously out of cash flow right now. We'll have to see how this plays out. I wanted to bring this forward to today's show to give you folks out there a heads up. Look for this. Keep an eye open for this, especially those of you who are going on a cruise coming up. If you've booked a cruise between now and 6 months from now, even a year from now, I highly encourage you to be getting travel insurance to guard against a cancellation of your cruise for any reason, including the measles. You have to know that you're protected for your fare, your airfare, your hotel reservations, car reservations, to make sure that if there are any, is there any fine print out there with your travel providers where you might be vulnerable, you need to know that you're covered. The other thing you need to know about is this: you're on the ship. You're on the ship having a great time. You're healthy as can be. Your traveling companion is healthy as can be. Everything's great. And you are in you're at sea, and you come into a port of call. It doesn't matter where it is, anywhere in the world, and an announcement comes over the PA system. The next morning, you're getting ready to go off the ship for short excursions. You're going to have a wonderful time today, wherever you are. It doesn't matter. And an announcement comes over the PA system from the captain of the ship to tell you that we have a passenger, 1, 2, 3, just doesn't matter, that has contracted measles, and we've been quarantined, and we're stuck here for 2 to 4 weeks. It could be that long. They're not going to say it right up front. They're going to say we're quarantined. We'll advise you later for how long we're here. You could be there for upwards of a month if it's really bad, and if there are multiple cases, and some are just showing, the health authorities are going to keep the ship quarantined until the entire disease has sort of played itself out on board the ship. That's what's going to happen. You're on that ship, and you're fine, and you're not going to get the measles because you've been inoculated, but you're not getting off the ship either. They're not letting you off the ship. You've got to have insurance, and you've got to know not only is it trip interruption insurance, but what about life interruption insurance? You're stuck on a cruise ship, and you are not at work for a couple of weeks, how are you going to pay the bills? This type of thing. You've got to look into insurance very carefully. You may want to talk to your insurance provider back home, someone who's a specialist in your home, your car, and this kind of thing, to talk about what happens if I'm on a cruise ship, someone gets the measles, I'm on a ship that's quarantined for 2 to 3 weeks, and I miss a week and a half of work. What am I going to do? You better be covered for that. This is stuff I've never had to talk to you about before, because it's never come up. The norovirus is almost always the sickness we talk about when we talk about a cruise ship issue. There's a sickness or an illness on board a cruise ship. We're always talking about wash your hands, washy. Yeah, well, with the measles, you got to wash your hands too, obviously. But with the measles, you know, you don't just go to the bathroom and you know, maybe give back your dinner from up here or give up your dinner from down there in a real hurry. This is a whole other issue. This is life and death issue, and there are people who could be vulnerable to becoming very, very ill from the measles. So haven't had to mention that one before, but I thought I'd mention it today. If I'm early, I'm early. If it doesn't happen, thank God it didn't happen. But you should know this. We should all know this. This disease it picks no favorites. Picks absolutely no favorites. It's not a plane disease. It's not a car disease. It's not an at-work disease. It's not a schoolyard, children's kindergarten setting disease. No, it can happen anywhere to anyone at any time, and it could be that someone you know got exposed to this from 5 people ago, and now you're meeting this person, and now you're catching the virus from them, and it started 6, 7, 8 contacts ago. Earlier in the day, earlier in the week, neither of you know. It can be that, you know, random, and you should be aware of it. Anyway, there's 2 pieces of news for you today. Not one is kind of okay, the financial, but the other one's not so good. The other piece of news I have is it's also Royal Caribbean. Actually, it's ironic. It's a Royal Caribbean piece of news. It's about the CocoCay, the big island, the private island that Royal Caribbean has been developing. They've been spending $200 million to upgrade Perfect Day at CocoCay. By the way, cheers everybody from Canada. Coke Diet to you. Royal Caribbean spent $200 million to upgrade the island, CocoCay. It's now opening up in various stages as we're speaking to each other. They've just opened a big chunk of it. There's another chunk coming, and then by November it'll be completed. And with the completion of the island, they'll be able to handle way more people on a daily basis than they have in the past. Number one. Number two, they built their own docks. They can now handle, I think, up to 3 ships. They can dock, I think, 3 ships at a time now. It might be 4, but 3. They can certainly tender a 4th or a 5th one if they needed to. But they can now dock several ships. The talk today from Royal Caribbean is that they are seriously thinking that instead of handling between 3,000 and 6,000 people a day on the island, they think they can push it to 12,000 a day. And if that happens, they are likely going to bring special entertainment on board the islands as well to handle these larger crowds. We're talking about day visits and also overnights. And the cruise line is very excited about the fact that only 1/3 of the island has actually been developed. The other 2/3 is available to them to expand into. And they could go even larger. I could see them going to 20,000 people a day if they so wished to, and they could bring in celebrity ships, Royal Caribbean ships, and any of their other lines if they so wanted. So this Perfect Day at CocoCay, it could be a very crowded Perfect Day at CocoCay when she's all built out. I think we're talking another 10 years of development here, and this just reaffirms what I think has been going on with the cruise lines, and that is that they have had for decades, they would take all of us on ships into Nassau and Freeport and into San Juan, Puerto Rico, and to other islands like Jamaica, and we'd go out into the world and mingle with the crowds, mingle with the locals, and we would get that cultural visit that we would not normally have. 1985, my mother and father had no idea what life was like in Jamaica, no idea what life was like in Nassau. They would have gotten off a cruise ship in downtown Nassau and would have had a great time. They'd have probably run into a couple of hucksters, maybe a couple of hustlers here and there, but they were street smart. My parents, they could handle themselves. They were okay. When they were doing this, they were in their 40s and 50s. No one messed with my dad when he was in his 50s. But the cruise lines have long figured out that we don't operate cruise ships with 1,200 passengers anymore. The Love Boat with 1,400 passengers, that's long been cut up into scrap. That boat's long gone. We're running cruise ships with between 2,500 to 6,500 people each ship. We can't expect to drop off a 6,000 passenger cruise ship in a small little island like Grenada and let them mingle in amongst the locals. I mean, there's only 10,000 locals. We got 6,000 of our own. And that's one ship. What if there's two others from other cruise lines? Now we're talking 12,000, 15,000 people. Look at the Cayman Islands. If any of you have been to the Cayman Islands in the last 2 years, I ask you out there, have any of you been to the Cayman Islands in the last 5 years? 5 years. I'll give you 5 years where you were the only cruise ship in town. That's a rarity, a real rarity. Cayman Islands used to be a beautiful, quiet little island you'd go to with one or two ships that would have 1,000, 1,500 people each. You'd blend right into the population of 30-odd thousand and wouldn't cause a ripple. Today, you land a quarter mile off the beach of Grand Cayman, downtown Georgetown, there are 4, 5, 6 cruise ships with you. They're anywhere from 3,000 to 6,000 passengers each, or whatever the numbers are. You're talking 12, 15, 18,000 people a day tendering into downtown Georgetown. There is no blending anymore. It's a takeover. It's an invasion of tourists with children, and we all got our snorkel gear, and we're all heading to Stingray City, or we're going here, we're going there. It is a zoo. It is insane. We are killing the Cayman Islands with our love. Cruise ships today just don't do what they used to do. And so what are they doing? What are the cruise lines doing about it? Well, Royal Caribbean, perfect day at CocoCay. We cannot build an island and have it become a quaint little village from the 1970s the way Nassau used to be. We don't do that. We're not Disneyland. Are you kidding me? No, what we build is we take an island and we've decided to build a giant water park. That's what we've decided to do. Artificial lakes, artificial pool settings with cabanas, and music is going to be playing. And we got our food stations on the island. We've got the water slides, the wave machines. We got the zip lines. We got it all. We got all this activity for the family to have a great old time with, because we're not pretending. This is no pretend cultural experience. When you saw the brochure to go on the perfect day at CocoCay, you couldn't possibly have confused that with a cultural Caribbean experience for the day. No, you're going to a water park in the Caribbean. That's what it is. And that's how they've sold it to you. And that's what the passengers are paying for. That's what they want. Mom and dad have 2 screaming children, and they got to wear them out so that at 6, 7, 8 at night, the kids are asleep in the room and mom and dad can get out of the cabin for a while and have a bite to eat in the nice steakhouse or go dancing and what have you. See the show, maybe hit the slot machine for a little bit and have some adult time while those kids are snoring their heads off because we wore them out. That is the plan. That is the big picture. And Royal Caribbean has figured it out. We're not only just going to go there for the day. We're not going to do a 6-hour stop in CocoCay. Are you kidding me? We're going to stay overnight. We're not moving that ship. We're going to have 2 of them there. We'll have 3 of them there, and we'll dock these behemoths right here at CocoCay, spend the night, and have a second full day of island fun and activities. Then we'll pull the ship out of the harbor the 3rd night and go back into international waters and go to our next stop. This is how you make money as a cruise ship company, because you don't spend a lot of money on fuel when you're just sitting in one place. running the generators for electricity. You're not powering the ship to move it anywhere. You're saving a lot of money on fuel. And so these three and 4 day or 1 week long cruises to the Caribbean, where you have 1 and 2 nights in CocoCay, become extremely profitable for cruise lines like Royal Caribbean, because they've just cut their costs down by a ton of money. Well done. And that's the gain for the cruise line. Maybe it's a loss for Caribbean island nations. I keep getting complaints from people and comments who say to me, how can you be so positive about something like that? It's like you're against our island nation. You know what I'm saying? I think it's the best thing to happen to your island nation. Do you want 20,000 screaming tourists on your tiny little island of 6,000 tearing the place apart? Are you out of your mind? What can you possibly offer culturally to that many people at one time? I don't know how you're going to do it. You're better off having limits and having maybe one ship only a day coming into your port and spoiling those folks rotten, taking real good care of them, giving them island tours that they'll remember for a lifetime. But when Royal Caribbean wants to take 15,000 people or 12,000 people, whatever the number is, to CocoCay, let them take them to that water park over there. They're hiring locals from the Bahamas, in this case, to operate the facility. Do it that way. But for your precious islands and beaches and ecosystems, oh my gosh, you do not want to have an overrunning overflow of humanity ripping apart your ecosystem. It just makes no sense. Anyway, that's just this guy from way out here looking way over there saying, here's what I think. Well, what do you folks think? What do you think about my commentary today? What do you think about this measles story? Give it to me. Am I off? If I'm off my rocker, tell me, or am I onto something? Because I think we got ourselves a situation here. Houston, I think we may have a problem, and I'm wondering when this is going to break, if it hasn't already, and will we be hearing stories like this going forward all summer long? I am appalled as an individual where I hear entire schools have to be shut down, or churches or community centers have to be shut down because local residents are refusing to get their children inoculated because of some cockamamie theory out there about them being injured by these booster shots. Ridiculous. I'm amazed by that. I really am. I'm saddened to see how this is affecting innocent people that have no need to be exposed to this kind of nonsense. There are a lot of people being inconvenienced by it, and I really wonder if we're going to start to hear about an airport, say an airport in the United States is going to be shut down for 6 hours because somebody was ill at the check-in counter, and they found out that person trying to get on an airplane had measles, and they just shut the whole airport down for a full-blown sanitization protocol. Whole days, flights canceled until this airport is clean from top to bottom because we have measles in here. I mean, I'm telling you, folks, there's going to be, I think, a lot of innocent people affected by this. We don't need it. It didn't have to happen. This disease was eradicated, and it could have stayed so. Polio is another one. There are others that we have effectively, virtually eradicated from existence, and yet they're coming back. These diseases are coming back because people refuse to play by the rules. It just is a mind blower to me. But what can I say? Welcome to the show. I'm glad you're here. Tell me what you think. I'm going to say hi to who is watching me today and engage with you. I see looks like 86 of you are watching me now. Thank you for coming by and hanging out with me. 19 thumbs ups today. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Like I said, if you got comments on these stories I've had today, let me know. Also, if you've never been here before, please do what a lot of my regulars are doing. Say hi to me. Tell me, where are you watching me from? Where are you in the world? What city or town are you in? What country? What's your high temperature today? What's the price of gas where you live? We love to compare stuff like that. And let's see who's here. I want to give some shout outs as to who's watching, because that's what I love to do. So if you'd like to hear your name called, say hi to me so I can say hi back to you. I got John LeBeau here, and I have Vivian here. Vivian Clark Nicholson. Hi there, Vivian. MGM Family Traveling is here. Welcome you guys to the channel and the show. Just grabbing my big ass iPad with all this info on it here. Tom Henry is here. Hi there, Tom. Linda Lou from Reno, Nevada, where it's 56. Welcome, Linda Lou, to the show today on the channel. 86 in Richmond for Tom Henry, Richmond, Virginia. Comcast ad is what he was looking out, and he was not happy with him yesterday because the service was gone. Oh, my gosh. Who else is here? Paul Wilgus is in the house. Hello, everybody. 83 in Virginia. Wes Morrison is here from Texas. New Braunfels, Texas, to be exact. Gas 242 over there. High of 81 today. Welcome, Wes. SFL Spotter is in the house as well. Welcome, SFL. Linda Lou, wow, 80s in Virginia. I got to love that. Who else have we got coming here? Mark Dirksen is here. Hi, Mark, I believe from New York City. Ad for travel to Slovenia, says Tom Henry. That's a nice looking ad for Bruce's channel. Right on. Wes Morrison saying hi, everybody. Let's see here. Sherry, Awesome Sunsets Travel. How you doing, Sherry? You got my message, didn't you? Yeah. We'll be talking. Fantastic, Sherry. How you doing? Paul Callahan. Hi, Bruce and everybody. Linda Lou. Hi, Sherry. Kelly Haston. Yeah, it's TWB time. That's right. Every day, 5 o'clock Eastern, Monday to Friday, Saturdays at 2. We're live. We talk cruise ships 6 days a week. Sherry, awesome. Ad for WikiBuy. Yeah, that's interesting. Eric Gibbons is in the house today, too. Happy Wednesday, everybody. 82 degrees and some clouds here in Charleston. Welcome, sir, to the show. Glad you made it. Tom Henry, Viv, get out today with Gramps. Did you get out? Sherry, hello, Linda Lou. Edward Cleveland is here, a little out of focus here in Bradenton, Florida. I noticed the photos, the imaging is not the best, but it's the best I could do with the internet I have in Calgary. Just an update, by the way, will not be on the air tomorrow. Tomorrow, Thursday, will not be on the air. Got some number of family members to affairs to attend to. Friday, I will be on the air at 5 o'clock Eastern. It's definitely Friday. Saturday, I'm off, and Sunday, I'm off. We're working our way back to Creston, and you'll see me Monday back in Creston. So that's what's happening, just so to give you a heads up. So not on tomorrow, but we're on Friday, and then we're on again Monday. Okay, continuing on. Roland Tucker, good afternoon, Bruce. Here in Montreal, it's 3 degrees, and we are freezing. Here in Calgary, we're going to hit 8 Celsius, which will bring us to about 45 Fahrenheit at best. And we had another 2 inches of snow last night that's melting right now as I speak. But by the weekend, they say the 60s. In Creston, where I'm from, it's now in the mid-70s this weekend. Can't wait to get back to that. Fantastic. So welcome, Roland from Montreal. P. Mills is here. Hello there. And Vivian says, hi, Tom Henry. I did Walmart, and my buddy there, he bought a kayak. Laugh out loud. Somebody bought a kayak. That's crazy. Tom Henry, hi, Sherry. Sean McCroskey, hello, everybody. Tuning in from El Centro, California today. 82 Fahrenheit. The ad was for Angry Birds 2, Bruce. They're advertising Angry Birds 2 on your channel. Go figure, Sean. That's incredible. Thank you, buddy. Thanks for joining me as always. Linda Lou, Sean, welcome to the Wild Wild West. MGM Traveling. If I was going to be quarantined, what a better place to be quarantined on than a cruise ship? Well, you know, if everything is running, but if they shut down the pools because of transmission of body fluids, they shut down the spas, they shut down the saunas, they shut down the most of the restaurants. They limit you to meals in your rooms. Not so much fun all of a sudden. Think about that. They might not allow you on the upper decks. I really don't know. I've not been in a quarantine situation myself. I don't think I ever want to be in one, but I'm kind of wondering. Vivian, oh dear, must be thousands not vaccinated. I would say maybe more, many more. SFL Spotter, what about the norovirus? It's a mess. Let's see. Fatima, hi everybody. Hi Bruce, I really missed you last week. For some reason, I could not connect to your channel. Connect to your channel 5 or 8. How have you been? We have been great. Fatima McCoy, welcome back. Graham J, when will anti-vaxxers be banned from cruise ships? When will they be banned from life? What is this all about? This is absolutely ridiculous. I think this should be chargeable under some sort of a crime of sorts. This is putting innocent people in danger of nasty diseases and viruses. I don't believe in the, oh, you're not getting a virus? Well, yeah, I hope you get the disease. No, that's not what I'm interested in. I want that person looked after as well, inoculated, so they don't pass it on to others that have no business to get this problem. I just drives me nuts. Anyway, what are you going to do? Paul Wilkes, according to MSNBC, it is a crew member that has the measles. It matters not who has it. It does not matter. If it's on there, it's on there. Let's see here. Bobby Green, any idea what ship it is? I've heard different stories, but I'm not speculating on the air. Linda Lou, good info. Paul Scott Weber is saying hi, everybody. Kat Rose, how are you doing, Kat Rose? Even if you have immunity, even if you have immunity, you're sequestered on the ship with everybody else. You're not going anywhere. Linda Lou, hi, Scott. Vivian, well done, Paul. Scott Weber, it's sunny 73 in Palos Verdes. Gas $4 a gallon. Holy moly, Scott, that is insane. Ship needs to be disinfected, says Cat Rose. Tom Henry, NCL was up a lot too. The stock was up as well, but not as high, not as much, but it had a good day. Wonder if this is a one-day thing though. Paul Willis, February 29th, there was a ship that docked in Italy that has several crew members that had the measles. Oh my gosh. I'm sure a lot of stories have been buried. Randy Lucas, I see him in the house, one of the Biscuit Boys. Welcome, Randy Lucas. Greetings, Bruce, and all from sunny Las Vegas, high of 75 degrees today. Randy, welcome to the show. I hope things are going well for you and Michelle. Thanks for popping in from time to time to see us. Way to go, buddy. We love your updates, and glad you're doing well. This is fantastic. Cat Rose, 73. It feels like 81 in Sacramento. Paul Lucas, hello, Randy Lucas. Linda, hey, Randy, my fellow Nevada, and Tom Henry, Paul, what year? 2020 is the next leap year. Fatima, thumbs ups for Bruce. Do you think maybe it's time to consider a stay vacation? And what about the sniffles? Linda Lou, nice temp in Vegas, says Linda Lou. Let's go through Randy Lucas. Randy Lucas saying hi to everybody. Nurse Nancy, hi there, TWB family. Finally able to get on to TWB again. Welcome, Nurse Nancy. I know you've been working a lot of shifts and you haven't been able to spend time with us. I did see you the other day on the Lita Loca channel, and I know we said hi to each other. Welcome back, Nurse Nancy. Let's see here. Who else have we got going here? Brittany Lockwood is here. Hi, Bruce, and all. Sorry I'm late. I just realized what time it is. Welcome, Brittany. Randy Lucas, greetings, Tom Henry. Let's see. Sean McCroskey found out the name of the ship is Free Winds. It was a crew member operated by Church of Scientology, according to NBC News. I just passed this on. I do not verify the validity of the information. I've learned my lesson. Yes. Norm Duarte, rain today, gas 275. Welcome, Norman. Tom Henry. We only allow vaccinated people into the chat, by the way. If you're unvaccinated, you haven't been vaccinated, hey, you shouldn't be here. Thank you, Tom Henry, for that public service announcement from Richmond, Virginia. Let's see. Who takes the flu vaccination? Asks SFL. Let's see here. Corey Jacobs is here. Just got back home today from 7 days on the Norwegian Breakaway cruise ship. I have been cruising since 1989. Worst cruise ever. I've been with them before and never had such a bad experience. Awful from A to Z. Oh, I'm dying to hear this. I need details, Corey. Start at letter A and give it to me. Talk to us. What happened on this ship? What was wrong with us? Tom Henry, me too. Glenn Edinburgh, hi, Bruce, and everyone at the TWB team. Glenn, welcome from Brisbane, Australia. Nice to have you here from down under. It's fantastic. SFL spotter, I never get it, and I don't get the flu. Thank you. Nurse Nancy, hi there, Sherry. Sherry, oh no, Corey. Sherry, care to share details, Corey, please? Let's see here. John Lobo's got the needles going. Let's see here. Rob Sauter, every time I get the flu shot, I get the flu. No shot, no flu. It's kind of crazy. Randy Lucas got I have an unugly vaccination. It didn't work. Nurse Nancy, I imagine cruise ships could spread a disease like measles pretty effectively. Sean McCoskey, Corey, I've been hearing bad reviews on the Breakaway and Escape. What happened? Everyone's dying to know this. Let's see here. Corey Jacob, yes, Sherry, I was so disappointed. I'm not one to complain a lot, but Norwegian really dropped the ball on the Breakaway. Let's see here. Katie Bourne, I am really surprised. You don't have to show shot records to get on a ship. I bet you in the old days you probably did. I would imagine even, I'm pretty sure transatlantic, you couldn't have gotten on a transatlantic cruise back in the 50s, the 40s without showing shots. I bet you couldn't have done it. Things have changed, haven't they? Let's see. So Tweety, hey Bruce and all. I heard that this is a Scientology ship that has the measles. That's what she's heard. That's the same ship that can't port in the U.S. because of asbestos violations. sketchy. Very interesting. So, Tweety, Sherry, that's true. At Katie, let's go here. Eric Gibbons. This could be catastrophic for the cruise industry or the entire travel industry. No question about it. JFK. Can you imagine if someone with the measles is found to be at JFK? They'll shut down that airport. They'll quarantine entire wings of JFK. That could cut business by half. Hundreds of millions of dollars of lost business. Hundreds of millions. It's just scary how this could go. Glenn, Edinburgh travel insurance is an absolute must, especially if cruising. Right on, Glenn. You got it. Nurse Nancy, hi Scott, and GM, and so Tweety. Let's see here. Sherry Osmond says it might come to that, show your shot records or you don't go on a cruise. Then SFL is saying if you don't have an emergency fund or savings, I don't think you should be cruising. Let's see. Tom Henry says, I don't know where my shot records are. Can I take my mom along as a witness? Oh man. No scratchy watchy, says Vivian. Corey, Sean, so many things to list that went wrong on this cruise. The food was not good. I've never seen crew with such a rude, bad attitude. Hardly no entertainment either. Andre Hicks is saying hi, everybody. Hi, Andre. Vivian, hi there, Tweety. Mark Dirksen, I got shot for those when in school back in the 80s. Andrew Cabate, hey, Bruce. Hey, Andrew. Tom Henry, well, mine would be back in the 60s. Me too. I definitely remember those days. Jeff Sume, hi, Bruce. It's 59 Fahrenheit in Seattle with blue sky. Jeff, welcome, Jeff. You've got better weather than us here. I think it'll be warmer in the next few days for you as well. SFL Spotter, how many people use the restroom and wash their hands afterwards? I bet everyone says they do when they don't. I'm with you there to a degree. I'm with you there. Please wash your hands, says Fatima. I don't see enough people washing their hands. I feel they don't use the sanitizer pump throughout the ship. I hear you there too. Vivian wants to know, Corey, where were you on this lousy cruise? Corey is saying, Sean, they lost my bag for 2 days with no explanation other than, we found it. No one is on the same understanding at all. One employee tells you one thing, another one tells you something else. That is terrible. That's not good. Glenn Edinburgh, I can say that we wash and sanitize our hands at least 12 times a day when cruising. Our tricks to keep yours away from your face. That's the trick of it all. Don't touch your face. Randy Lucas is saying, we're getting excited. We're only 16 days away from our back-to-back cruise to Alaska on the Star Princess. Fantastic, Randy. That is going to be great. Randy, I hope you post photos for us on our Facebook group page, the Traveling with Bruce Facebook group page, spelled with 2 L's. I invite all of you to join that page, and I'll let you in. I'm the administrator. Randy, please send us some great photos from up there and show us your ship and everything else. That would be fantastic. SFL, Glenn, I totally agree with you. Don't touch your face, your eyes, your nose, or your ears. Sherry saying, Sherry Awesome Sunsets. Randy, this sounds fantastic. Back-to-back cruise. Absolutely fantastic. Let's hear it for Princess Randy. Corey Jacobs, we had a Haven Suite. Oh my God, a Haven Suite, and it was a disaster cruise. The sheets on the bed were literally falling apart, and the comforter was actually ripped on the Haven. Are you kidding me? The room smelled musty. It was just a terrible cruise all the way around. This is shocking to me. This is just shocking that all of these issues are happening on a Norwegian ship, a Haven class. This is insane. This is absolutely ridiculous. That's incredible. So tweeting, oh my gosh, Corey Jacobs, what ship was that again? Linda Lou, oh my God, Corey. What ship? That really sucks, Corey. Wow, Corey. Andre, Randy, I always wanted to cruise to Alaska. Tell us about it when you return. No, Andrew's going to tell us about it while he's on these 3 cruises, because he's going to be with us hopefully every day, and hopefully he'll be on the Facebook group page for Traveling with Bruce. Sherry, awesome. So am I. Sherry is saying, I'd love to travel to Alaska on a Princess Cruise. Corey, we'll do, the ship's name was it the Breakaway? I think is what he was telling me. I think it was the Breakaway. Just going back in time here to find his comment. Pardon me while I look back. Corey was on the NCL breakaway. That was the name of the ship, and it was awful. It was awful. Everyone's just shocked, and they cannot believe it. Let's see here. I'm looking down here at my big ass iPad. I try to actually I have it here, and I'll be able to look at it a little bit. Pardon me, folks. I'm just going to move it a little further so you don't miss me that way. But I've got it standing beside the camera here, so hopefully I won't look so far away from you as I read this stuff here. Let's go here. Glen Edinburgh quarantined on the cruise ship. Well, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I can't imagine it being fun, to be honest. I really can't. Glen Edinburgh, though, says, bring on the free cocktails. I don't know if they'll even serve alcohol if you're on a quarantine ship. The doctors might not allow any alcohol consumption at all to help fight the disease and keep your immune system at the tallest, strongest point. Folks, this isn't a pleasure cruise now. You're on a boat where you're quarantined. You have got all kinds of probably restrictions going on a quarantine ship. It can't be good. Randy Lucas, when we've been to Grand Cayman, there's been from 3 to 7 ships in port. Yep, that is typical. Sherry, not sure if I could afford it though. Carnival's cheaper. Sean McCroskey, the crew on the Bliss was amazing. The Norwegian Bliss was great. Everyone had smiles and said hello. I kindly thanked crew members for what they do for us. It's a rough job putting up with different groups of drunk adults each week, another batch every week. Sean, it could well be that the folks on the Bliss are a happy bunch of people, that they're just a happy bunch of travelers. They're having a great time. They're on a brand new ship, all these new amenities. The crew loves their jobs. Adrian isn't on the ship anymore, by the way. Maybe that's what's going on. Maybe Adrian is on the breakaway. How about that? I don't know. I'm just messing with everybody. I can't say. Interesting. Linda Lou, I want to go when it's warmest, but unfortunately that's the most expensive time to go in Alaska. Mark Dirksen, if we're quarantined on a cruise ship, would my drink package be extended? Oh, you might get a refund for it, but that might be it. That might be all she wrote. They might give you a refund for the remaining days, and that's all she wrote. I don't know, my friend. That's a question that can only be answered when it happens, I think. Andre, in Grand Cayman on April the 18th, 4 other cruise ships were at port, and there were lots of people. And there's the problem. It's not like the 4 ships can dock, and you can just walk off or walk on the ship at your leisure. All 4 ships are in the water. You're tendering in. The tendering docks only have so much space, and it's mayhem right at the same general location. It's absolute mayhem in downtown Cayman. It's kind of charming in a way, kind of charming for 5 minutes, and then it's a pain in the rear end. The charm is gone very quickly. And if there's 6 or 7 ships, it's not charming for 30 seconds. It's just not fun. And if it's wavy at all, oh, it's impossible. It's not good. Interesting. Sherry, I want to go to, in August for our birthdays. Linda Lou says, Sherry. Sylvia, hi, Bruce and all. 81 sunny in Greensboro. Welcome, Sherry, to the channel. Glen Edinburgh, drunk adults? What are you talking about? Let's see here. Paul Lucas, hey, Sylvia. Who else is here? Mark Dirksen, maybe it could happen to me when I retired. I don't know what he's talking about there. Sean, I had the thermal suite pass, Glenn. I had the thermal suite pass. That would have been on the Bliss, I think. Hi there, Sylvia says, Nurse Nancy. Brittany, fascinating stuff. Linda Lou, hi, Sylvia. Glen Edinburgh, note, Sean McCroskey. Note at Sean McCroskey. Sherry, hello, Brittany. Corey Jacobs, yes, Sean, I agree. But some things are inexcusable. Normally, I never complain, but I'm going to put a call into Norwegian tomorrow on this one. I do agree with you, though. Normally, the crew is great. Usually, yeah, the crew on Norwegian I found, have been very nice. I've had 2 fine experiences on Norwegian in my cruising, years. But hey, you should pass this on. Absolutely, Corey, I agree. Sherry, Royal Caribbean has it all figured out. Brittany, I think Disney needs to develop Castaway Cay too. MGM traveling, most of these islands survive on tourism. Without the cruise ships, they'll lose a ton of revenue. I agree, MGM, but they can't be over touristed. You can't over visit them. They have to have the right numbers. Any government out there in the Caribbean that thinks they need 15,000 passengers a day to break even or make their economy work, they're sorely mistaken. They're missing their calling. They're blowing it. 15,000 cruise passengers a day is a lot of wear and tear on the sidewalks, the waste management department, the plumbing department on the island. Just think of how many bathroom breaks are being taken all day long, 6 hours at a time, 8 hours. That's a lot of flushing going on. You're talking about a massive influx for a short period of time when the systems are at maximum stress. There are, I think, Caribbean islands like the Cayman Islands, I think they should restrict the number of passengers down to 5,000 a day and boost the number of passengers that come in for a week at a time. They're the ones who spend the most money. They're the ones who cause the least damage to the environment, because you're talking about people spending 7 days instead of 7 hours. And so, you know, if you're going to have, let's say 7,000 visitors come in on a couple of ships, why don't you just have 1,000 visitors come in for a week? That's a lot less damage to the island. The plumbing system can handle it. The grocery stores can handle it. The restaurants can handle the absorption rate of 1,000 people for the week is easy to take. But 7,000 a day for 7 days in a row, 49,000 people. That is a ton of wear and tear. All the taxi rides, all the carbon going up into the atmosphere from the exhaust from the buses and the taxis and the boats in the harbor, and all those stingrays being bothered by frenzied tourists who want to get selfies in Stingray City. Cayman Islands would be better off shutting down that cruise side by 70% and increasing day visitors instead. They're way more money left behind that way, and it's much easier on the infrastructure of the island. The island actually is wealthier. The island would be wealthier having fewer people on it. And it's the same for Nassau. It's the same for other countries. The problem, of course, is how do you convince a government that's addicted to 2 million passengers a year coming off the cruise ships, especially if you're a local politician and your brother-in-law is a taxi cab driver, or your sister-in-law owns one of those bus companies with 4 buses that takes passengers all around the place, 40 at a time, all day long. I mean, this is good coin for these guys. These folks are going to look at you and go, what are you? What kind of a relative are you? You're killing my business, man. We need those 2 million passengers a year to survive, because they become addicted to it rather than the other way around. They should be addicted to the week-long traveler, not the 7-hour traveler. But who am I to say? I'm just Bruce here in Calgary today. Let's see here. Other comments. Here we go. Sean McCroskey, takes about a month for them to respond. Corey, Sylvia, years ago, my mom and sisters got tuberculosis, TB. They were quarantined in the house for a couple of months. My mom missed my daughter's 8th graduation, a grade 8th grade graduation. I couldn't understand why they got that old-timey disease. How can that happen? It's incredible. Glenn Edinburgh, anyone who got thoughts on cruise lines limiting alcohol drinks on beverage packages, Bruce? There are cruise lines that do exactly that. They'll offer you a drink package for maybe 50 a day, 60 bucks a day, 70 bucks a day, but then it'll be restricted to a certain number of drinks or certain types of drinks or certain dollar values. And what I'm finding more and more interesting all the time is I'll see a package offered that'll say something like you can have mixed alcoholic drinks and beers and wines, and anything up to $8 a glass is included. Anything above that, you pay the difference in price. Then you take a look at the menu on board these cruise ships and the changing menus. I'm talking about changes, the menus that change every 6 months because they go up. You start looking at how many drinks are not under $8 anymore, and there's fewer and fewer and fewer of these drinks. In effect, what you're limiting yourself to is what they call bar rye, bar vodka, bar rum, cheap beer, and you're thinking to yourself, why am I dropping $500 with my tip money for the week or more when I can't even get I can't even get a beer at a liquor, like the beer I buy at home. I can buy the cheap beer for $8 a case, or I can buy the premium stuff for $10 a case, $2 more. I get 12 bottles. It's 20 cents a bottle. Not even that. It's 18 cents a bottle more for the premium beer. Why is it $5 more for the same beer on a cruise ship? Why is one 6 and the other one 11? It's 22 cents different or 18 cents different. This is where they get you. And so you have to really read between the lines. You have to be very careful with drink packages to see if it's really worth your while. Glenn, you make a good point. Also on limits, how many you can have. Yes, that can limit you too, especially if you're off the ship for 5 hours. You get off the ship at 10 in the morning, get back on the ship at 3 in the afternoon, and you want to have 12 drinks now to, kind of catch up from where you would have been. It's not happening. You might only be limited to 1 an hour, maybe 1 every 45 minutes, and it's the cheap stuff. Don't know if it's worth your while. Might not be worth your while. Interesting. SFL Spotter want to know what ship he was on. The Breakaway. NCL Breakaway was the name of the ship. Lynn Elizabeth. Hi, Bruce. Hi, Lynn. Sean McCroskey. No limit on NCL, and they are not made weak like Carnival. Interesting. Debbie. Yay. No commercial today. Sorry, I am so late today. Work here is absolutely crazy. At least it's a beautiful day with mid-70s for the weather in Chico, California. Welcome, Debbie Manuel, to the show. As always, so glad you're here. We've been talking about measles on cruise ships. We've been talking about Royal Caribbean making record profits this latest quarter. We've been talking about Royal Caribbean talking about perfect day at CocoCay. They're talking about handling up to 12,000 passengers a day from 3 cruise ships at a time at CocoCay. This should be a most interesting thing. Will passengers start to complain how crowded CocoCay has become once they start doing exactly that? 12,000 passengers a day. That might shut a lot of people off, might make a lot of people mad. I don't know. We'll have to see how this goes. Anyway, Paul Lucas is saying hi, Debbie. So is Randy Lucas. Randy is here, Debbie. Andre Hicks, this be measles. That's not good. Let's see here. Sean, he was on the Breakaway, the one I'm booked on in June, by the way. Linda Lou, Sherry, Dawn has a group cruise 2020 on the Royal Princess Sherry. Hello, Debbie. Vivian, hi, all latecomers. Just sign the register and come on in. Tom Henry, Sean, I ordered a drink plus a shot of Captain Morgan. No problem with weak drinks. Right on. Debbie, hello, Randy and Michelle. I hope you're doing well. Brittany, I think it is stupid that people are not getting vaccinated against measles. I couldn't agree with you more than that. I totally agree with that. Glen Edinburgh, P&O Australia has a 12-day, Glen Edinburgh. P&O Australia has a 12-day alcoholic drink limit on their beverage package. All right, so 12 drinks a day is the limitation on P&O. That's the deal there. So I guess if your first one is 11 in the morning and you like 1 an hour, you're only going till 11 at night. If you're up until 2 or 3, you're in trouble. So maybe that's a problem. Tom Henry, hi there, Debbie. Let's go. Susan R. Nurse Nancy, tell us about measles vaccination. Tell us about measles vaccine holding up for how many years? How about if we had measles? Do they last a while? That's a good question. Sylvia, the shot is the MMR shot, measles, mumps, and rubella. My daughter got her shot before going to school. She's 25 now. Sherry, I'm thinking of doing my own group cruise. Right on. Katie Bourne, anyone else think this is how a great zombie story starts? Right on, Katie. This is how it begins. Oh my gosh. Hello, Thomas from Debbie. Sean, my buddy said Carnival made weak drinks. My first on the Bliss was like 98% liquor and 2% soda. Yikes. Norman, a big new, but look out for post. Look out for post to close when no one will come or go on land off again. Sham. I'm not sure what that means. Big new, I don't know what that means. Glenn Edinburgh, laughing out loud, Katie. Katie, Corey. SFL, we were on the Breakaway. We got a Haven suite, and we were so excited. It was our first time on the Breakaway. Turns out I was glad to get off the ship Sunday. Big letdown and big money. That's not good. Unbelievable. Let's get those likes, says Mark Dirksen. How many we got? We got 42 likes and 82 watching. Thank you, everybody. Scott Weber, some people have allergies to certain vaccinations. What do they do? Talk to your doctor. Talk to your doctor. Brittany, let's all give Bruce a thumbs up. Thank you, Brittany. Andre, this measles thing reminds me of a movie called Outbreak with Dustin Hoffman and Cuba Gooding Jr. You put a whole bunch of people together in a confined area, and you get a disease like this going. Oh my gosh, who knows? Who knows? You got to wonder. Oh my gosh, Corey, that's awful, says Vivian. Debbie Manuel, hi there, Sylvia. Kirk Brunson, Kirk from New York is here. Hi there, Kirk Brunson. So Tootie, I thought the Haven was supposed to be the best of the best, Corey Jacobs. This is very surprising. Vivian, hi Nancy. Trish Simmons watching on the TV, so I came over to my tablet to give a thumbs up from Hookerton, North Carolina. Trish, you are awesome. Thank you very much for that. I really do appreciate it. The thumbs up's coming real handy for the channel's momentum. We got 47 now. Thank you, everybody, for throwing a few thumbs ups this poor YouTuber's way. I appreciate it. Let's see here. Linda Lou, always glad to be here, Bruce. Thank you. Sheila is here. Hi, Bruce and TWB. Hi, Sheila. Let's go here. SFL Corey, that's a terrible story to hear. I booked an H4 on Joy for Alaska, May the 18th. I heard something about the Joy. I thought I'd mention this to you guys. I saw a review on the Norwegian Joy. I think I read it in Forbes magazine. I think it was a Forbes article. And the article was generally pretty positive. It was a pretty positive article. We're talking about how the ship had been refurbished since it left the China cruise market now to come over to the USA. You can't really find any evidence that the ship used to be a China-only kind of a cruise ship. So, you know, from that standpoint, all good, all high marks, good grades, and so on. But apparently, there was one mild criticism, and you could tell the author wanted to say more, but the author didn't dare say more because there was one thing that the author didn't particularly care for, and that was the fact that compared to the Bliss, if you go to the thermal suite in the Bliss, where the spa area is, it's fantastic. Same with the Epic. If you get on the Epic, the spa in the Epic is really nice too. They don't have one on the Joy. The Joy has a spa, like for treatments. You can get massages, and you can get you can get your pedicures and your manicures and your hair and all that. You can get all the other treatments done. But when it comes to the thermal suite, they don't have the big thermal suite on the Joy. And this had been an issue with me personally, because I was looking at the Joy cruise ship back in November, before Christmas time. I was thinking at that time, boy, that might be a neat ship to go to see Alaska on, or to take the cruise through the Panama Canal on the Joy, because it would be effectively a new ship, you know, fully refurbished. It's only a year old anyway, year and a half by now. But I noticed looking at the floor, the deck plans. I was looking at the deck plans, and the old deck plans, like when it was in China, I couldn't find the spa. Like, where's the spa? Where's the big spa? Where's that huge hot pool with the waterfall coming down and all the jets coming out the side? And where's that rack you lie on underneath the water? And none. Where's the heated ceramic chairs? Where's the loungers? Nothing. $50 million later, still nothing. They didn't add the thermal suite to the Joy at all. That's got me wondering, hey, this ship won't be refurbished now for 5 years. I can't see them taking it into dry dock next year again. It just got done. The ship's not even 2 years old yet. So you got to wonder, folks, those of you who really love the thermal suite on the Norwegian cruise lines, I'm giving you a heads up. The Joy doesn't have it, and that might be a deal breaker. It's a deal breaker for me. There's no way I'm going on the Joy without a full-blown spa system. I gotta have the spa. I've gotta have those loungers. I'm old and creaky. I have to be loosened up just to function. Those of you who are younger, you'll figure out what I'm talking about when you hit your 40s. It'll start to kick in. You'll know what I'm saying. Those little grunts start to show up you didn't hear before. You're going, was that me? Did I do that? Did I grunt that? That wasn't my grunt. That was someone grunt. That was me. There's no one else in the room. I heard a grunt when I got up. Oh my gosh. Yes, here we go. Sorry about that. Here we go. Vivian, hi Linda Lou. Sherry, awesome sunsets. Bruce, when I messaged you last night, it was almost midnight, and I was in my basement with the tornado sirens going off, laughing out loud. Oh my gosh. Sherry, it doesn't matter what you can text me anytime you want. It's when I read it is the question. But thanks, and I'm glad you're okay. That is wild. Let's see here. Sylvan Viv, are you enjoying your time up here? Linda Moore, no rose-colored glasses for you, Bruce. I'm so glad you tell it like it is. It's a brutal world we live in. Well, it's a brutal world with a lot of beautiful people. There's some creeps, but generally speaking, it's pretty nice folks out there. But yes, I do what I can, Linda. I'm sorry. For those of you who keep hoping I sing nothing but Kumbaya by the campfire, it's kind of not my style. But then again, if you're here a lot, you kind of know that. Anyway, there's always happy videos you can watch after me. Oh my goodness. Sheila, glad you're okay, Sherry. Corey Jacobs, so tweety, trust me, it is not on the breakaway. It was our what was this? It was our first time on that ship, and in the haven. We were very surprised. Never again. So they were disappointed with the breakaway and only the breakaway, and that really is too bad. That really, to me, for the kind of money you're dropping to get that kind of a scenario is not good. That is not good at all. Let's see here. Carla G, 85 here in Ohio. Hi, Bruce and everybody. Hi, Carla G, 85. That is awesome. Vivian, it's interesting. Sylvia, Sherry, hi there from Sylvia. Sheila. Saying hi to everybody. Debbie Manuel, picture looks fine, Bruce. You just look airbrushed, that's all. And that's a good thing. We want to keep it fuzzy around here. We don't want to get too high def because then you'll see all the faults. We got to kind of don't want to make anyone ill. Rob Souter, Corey, sounds like they should rename the ship the Brokeaway. Scott Weber, hi there, Sheila. Sherry, awesome. Thank you. We were very lucky. No damage, Sheila. Let's see here, Sherry. It's a beautiful day today, sunny. 73 in St. Louis. Corey Jacobs, SFL, I hope you have a much better experience than we had. I have been with Norwegian before, and I've never had a bad trip. This was the first time for us on the breakaway. Mark Dirksen, 4 degrees and rain in Ottawa. It just won't stop raining in Ottawa. They don't need rain in Ottawa. They don't need rain in Quebec. They don't need rain in Eastern Canada. They need sunshine. What a crazy spring. Trish Simmons, it's 87 here right now. Lynn, hey, Bruce, 6 degrees and raining here in Oro, Medonte, Ontario. Welcome, Lynn, again. That's fantastic. Well, 6 could be better, couldn't it? Maybe you can add 6 more this weekend. Heat it up over there a little bit. Paul Wilgus, hi there, Sheila. Sheila, it's 84 here in Virginia. Summer this week, right on. SFL. Corey, keep us posted on the response from NCL. Let us know from NCL corporate. What do they tell you? That'd be very interesting. If you've got photos, you should send them photos. If it were me, I'd be taking photos of those sheets, of those blankets, of the conditions. I'd be doing that, even videos to make it even better. And then I'll be mentioning that I have a friend who has a YouTube channel who has 22,451 subscribers as of today. That he could publish those videos for me to let the world know what the haven looks like on the breakaway. Or I could hold those back. I could just, if we can work out a deal, maybe we won't release those kinds of images to all the followers on TWB. How about that? Interesting. It's really something. I'm surprised, Corey. I really am. That's amazing. Sheila, I wonder if you can get measles if you've had them. I don't know, Sheila. I'm not a doctor. That one, maybe a nurse could tell us that. Susan R. Tom Henry, I just got Slovenia travel ad from PSU. Interesting. My doctor says no, Paul Wolga says. Sheila, my doctor says you can't get it if you have. Fatima, what cruise ships allow you to wear face mask or rubber gloves? I'm just asking. In the loop. When we get vaccinated as children, when we got vaccinated as children, must we get a booster when we're older? I don't know, Linda. Sheila, thanks. Paul Woods, almost died with them when I was a kid. It had to be rough. Nancy Adams, hi everybody. Measles, Lordy. Nancy, welcome to the show and the channel. I added a couple of Lordies on my own. Don't worry about it. D&G, hi there. Traveling with Bruce and TWB Family. D&G, how you guys doing? Welcome from Fresno and Medford, California, and oh, damned if I can't remember exactly your town name. I'm all jazzed up. Welcome, guys, to the show. Sheila, hi, Derek and Greg. Linda Lou, hey, D&G. Ed Tolson, hello, everybody. Gas $2.99 in the Bronx today. It's 53 degrees outside. I had German measles when I was a kid. At the same time, my sister and brother had them, says Paul Wilgus. Interesting. Tom is saying hi, D&G. Vivian, SPL spotter. I had the flu and pneumonia. I had those shots. Paul Willis, hello, D&G. Everyone is saying hi to the guys. They are here. Way to go, boys. Welcome to my show. Sherry, I can't even seem to go to Walmart without getting sick. Who else is going through here? Everyone's saying hi to everybody else. Sheila, too many vaccinations have other stuff like mercury mixed in. And when you get them a single dose without the additives, Sheila, I can't comment on this stuff. I don't know this stuff. Paul Lucas, I stopped getting flu shots years ago because I always got sick from it. Why pay to get sick? And Carla's saying, bye, I'll stay safe. Thank you, Carla. Tom Henry, the shingles vaccine is bad. I had to get physical therapy after shot number 1. The shoulder froze up. Michelle Lucas, living the life in that big SRV, not always the best Wi-Fi. We're kind of off the beaten path from time to time. I think of TWB Family lots, and I share with other RVers about TWB. Alaska, back to back to back very soon. Fantastic, Michelle. We're thinking of you, and we just love it when you touch base with us. Please let us know how it's going when you are on there. If you can show photos or videos on the Facebook group page for Traveling with Bruce, that would be great too. Ed Olson, I'm doing okay, leaving for Texas to visit my parents in the boondocks on May 14th. So I probably won't have internet for a month. Ed, you hang in there, buddy. We're going to miss you. Let's see here. I haven't had the chicken pox myself, says Sheila to Tom Henry. He says, Tom Henry, when I had my second shot for the shingles, it went off without a hitch. No problem at all. MGM, hi, Nurse Nancy. I'm glad you could make it here. So, Tweety, wow, Ed, that will be nice to see your parents, but I can't imagine that much time offline. I can't imagine it. 288 for gas from Philadelphia, says Fatima. Right on. Let's go here. More comments here coming through here. Nancy Adams, don't do flu shot. Nancy Adams says shingles shot or pneumonia shot, got measles vaccination about 100 years ago. Ha. Roland Tucker, that's why, Bruce, you should cough on your elbow and not on your hand, laughing out loud. Well, there you go. Sheila, but just when someone tells me not to touch my face, I somehow want to. Don't scratch your nose. Oh, don't scratch my nose. Sheila, just when you want to do that. D&G, wear bubble wrap if you're a klutz like Tom Henry and me. That old biddy. Love how Bruce was the first YouTuber reporting the measles scare. Isn't that interesting? I guess I am the first, am I? I didn't see anyone else doing it today, but maybe in the next few days, everyone else will talk about it. No one mentioned bed bugs yet. Okay, that's what you should cruise. That's why you should cruise with Carnival, says MGM. Lynn, 4 days till we're on the Oasis of the Seas. Can't wait. Right on, Lynn. I want a report from you. You're going to tell me how that ship looks to you. Tell me if everything is fixed or not, and then you tell me what the crew is telling you. Let us know. I would really love to know that, Lynn. That would be great if you could. Any way you can get me messages, even direct message me on my Facebook group page, just get me that info. That would be great. I'll pass it on. That old biddy, yep, my Bruce scene is freezing up too right now. Oh my goodness, folks, I don't know what to tell you. Bingo, brew, tea, free wins is a ship quarantined Scientology ship. I've heard that already. I guess that's what it is. Sheila, they should give you alcohol, kills germs. Nancy Adams, rub the alcohol on the measles. Nurse Nancy, we have to be vaccinated as nurses or wear masks with all patient contact. Wow. Entertainment crew are going to be working overtime, says that old biddy. Cool Jazz, hello. Paul Wilgus, how are you? Sheila, we're sailing out of Tampa, and I just read someone got a flesh-eating disease from the water. That's crazy. Rob, Nurse Nancy, greetings and salutations coming in. Let's see here. So Paul Wilgus, hey, cool. How you doing? So Tweety says, yeah, my mom was an ultrasound tech and was required to get vaccinated as well. Tracy Dunlop, not good news, Corey. Sailing on the breakaway on the 19th. I'm surprised. I never had issues on NCL, but first time on the breakaway. Thanks for the heads up. She'll be watching for this. Little under the weather, sinuses, says Cool Jazz. He's not doing too well. Tom Henry Bruce, I think Cruising with Will said Adrian was on the escape. Figured that was the reason for the escape complaints. Interesting. Corey Jacobs, yeah, we had a haven. We got it through a bid upgrade, not what we expected. Wow, that is really disappointing. Really not good. Tom Henry, cool. Didn't mention it earlier when I said I wasn't feeling well. Left work at 1. Nurse Nancy, but I actually got hives from MMR vaccine, so I have to get a blood draw to make sure I have enough antibodies. Interesting stuff. Paul Lucas, cool Jazz. I've been taking sinus meds. The humidity here has been killing my sinuses. Hey, Bruce from Andrew Cabate. Hi, Andrew. How you doing, buddy? Let's see here. Corey, Tracy, I hope you have a much better experience than we had. Sorry you guys are under the weather, says Nurse Nancy. I thought you were pro cruise, Bruce, but I know you have a special place in your heart for the Cayman Islands. I am pro cruise. I am pro cruise, but within reason. We shouldn't have 15, 20,000 people a day on the Cayman Islands. It's not designed for that. Anyway, that's just me. Tom Henry, I'm thinking of inner ear infection. I'm a bit dizzy, Nurse Nancy. Can you make a house call? It's stoogitis. That's what it is. Thanks, Cool Jazz. Sheila, I have to take allergy meds, Tom Henry, to keep those at bay. Tom, are you always busy? Is that why you fall off ladders? Nurse Nancy wants to know. There you go. There's some interesting questions there. Sandra Conklin, hugs. Hi, everybody. Welcome, Sandra, to the show. Glad you're here. Who else is coming by here? Glenn Edinburgh from Brisbane. Case of beer in Australia, 24 each, average $40 Australian. Useless info, maybe, but still, that's about 28 American dollars for 24 beer, and that's kind of normal. That's I mean, in the States, you can get beer for less than $1 a can, but you want to drink that stuff. You want the really good stuff. You're about $1 a can, or maybe a bit more, $1 a bottle. Scott Weber, which wines are included in the drink package? I might sound like a music professor, says Cool Jazz. Let's see here. What was that? Sandra Conklin is saying that my commercial today was for a body girdle. Ooh, well, I think Debbie Manuel has been getting these kinds of commercials too. They're trying to tell you guys something. I don't know. I didn't think Debbie Manuel needed a body girdle. I saw her in person at the In-N-Out. Then again, if she goes to In-N-Out too often, well, you never know. Mind you, if I go to In-N-Out too often, never mind. I'm not going to wear a body girdle. Okay, Sheila, bubble wrap for Tom. We can all chip in and get one of those see-through balls to encapsulate him. That's right. We'll put him in the big ball, let him walk around. He won't hurt himself. Oh, Tom, we're all thinking about you. Tom, did anyone see the cruise law news article about the 15-year-old boy raped a few years ago on the NCL Dawn? I saw the headline. I read the first sentence, and I thought, I just don't want to go there. It's not what I'm about. And I moved on because these kinds of stories are not exclusive to cruising. These are stories that happen everywhere in the world, and these are sad, sickening stories, and I just don't like going there at all. Nurse Nancy, vertigo is indeed a bummer, Tom Henry. My hubby had it and got rid of it by doing one of those high jumps into water in the Blue Hole, Ojo Rios, Jamaica. He hasn't had it since. That's really interesting. Tom Henry, seems the kid was drunk on the ship. Never mind. Don't want to go there. Dave Elner, hey, good afternoon from Long Island, New York. It's 48 degrees and it's misting. We have a $2.87 a gallon for regular gas. It's not the most expensive price in the U.S., but it's definitely gone up, hasn't it? Welcome, David, from the show from beautiful Long Island. Let's see, Rob Lena. I just want to say I'm kind of mad at you for getting me addicted to cruising. Well, I'm kind of not sorry. It happens, Rod. You know what it is. You probably are of that kind of DNA. There's a DNA in your system that sooner or later, whatever you're addicted to is going to come out. And you got unlucky, and you found me somehow. You watched some of my shows, and now you're addicted to cruising, and the gene has been awakened. That passive gene in your body has exploded, and here it is. But it could be worse. You could be addicted to, I don't know, skydiving or something. I don't know. I'm just guessing here. I'm winging it. Welcome to the show, Rob. Cool. Cool Jazz says to Nurse Nancy, Tom just needs to go to the top of the stairs and jump. That's all. That'll cure him of his disease. Oh my goodness. Nurse Nancy, no doctor, Cool Jazz. We're trying to cure him, not kill him. Okay, nice talking to Nurse Nancy. Well done. Talk him down. Tom Henry's laughing out loud. Sheila, Tom Henry, kids are sneaky. They will drink your drink when you turn your head. Paul Wilgus, Cool Jazz, he tried that and hurt his thumb. That's true. At least Tom was laughing. Sandra, Long Island, very nice. Cool Jazz is laughing out loud. Tom needs to stop, drop, and roll, says Sheila. That's all Tom needs to do. Oh my gosh. D&G, Tom Henry, cruising with wheels and Adrian. We're on the Bliss. Yes, that's true. But apparently Adrian is no longer on the Bliss. You guys, he apparently is now on the Encore. Interesting. Gotta wonder, why would the head concierge for the Haven for the brand new cruise ship, the Norwegian Bliss, the hottest ship in the fleet. Why would he be transferred to another ship right now and not over to the brand new one that's not ready yet? I don't know. Could be training people. Could be a bad reason. I don't know. Interesting, isn't it? Nurse Nancy, he does that enough already, Sheila. That's only if he's on fire, laughing out loud. Glen Edinburgh, P&O Australia also charge $79 Australian a day for a drink package. One of the most expensive of all, I'm led to believe. Penny pinching again, I reckon. Yes, Glenn, that is expensive. Sheila, laughing out loud. Nurse Nancy, I just thought he could get there easier and quicker without harming himself. Let's see here. Nurse Nancy is saying, hi there, Sandra Conklin. Are you related to someone named Ann Jordan by any chance? Loving those emojis. I kind of miss Ann Jordan. Don't we all miss Ann Jordan? We used to see her here all the time. She had a million emojis for all of us. We haven't seen her for a while from beautiful Australia. Tom Henry, Derek, Cruising with Wheels was here last week or this week, and they told us this info. I had said that it was sad that he was not on the Bliss for our cruise. Sheila, that would be terrible, Nurse Nancy. Tom Henry, definitely don't get near any fire and don't carry any combustibles. Sandra McConklin says, no, I'm a Hatfield. So no, I'm not of that last name. All right. Sheila saying the Joy looks like a huge ship. What's the size? Same size as the Bliss. Oh my gosh. Sandra Conklin, thank you, Nancy. I'm trying to stay positive, dealing with kidney cancer. I love this channel. Sandra, you hang right in there. Thank you for joining us. Sheila, I'm so sorry, my many prayers. Norman Duarte, you will not find me on the Joy. You'll not find me on the Joy. No big spa. I pass. I'm not going on there. Cool Jazz, actually about 4 passengers less than Bliss, I think. D&G, I was expecting to book the NCL Joy in Alaska, but it's on the East Coast, so we're going on the Encore instead. I think you'll be better off on the Encore because they got the big thermal suite there, buddy. You'll enjoy that. Nurse Nancy, sorry to hear that, Sandra. You hang in there and enjoy. She says thank you. Hugs to everybody. Let's move through here. I got to catch up with you guys. Scott Weber, I'm sure NCL thought about the thermal spa, but there's a reason not to include it. It was someone's decision. The China market, for whatever reason, the China market, they weren't going to do it for the China market, but for the American market, something tells me that they would have to have made maybe $5 million more in expenses to, rip out and install a full-blown thermal suite, maybe 10 million. I don't know. And I guess the decision was made high up, way up high. Nope, we're limiting the expenses to 50 million to redo this ship and Americanize it, and that's it. And we'll do without a thermal suite, but you're not getting me on that ship without a thermal suite. I got to have that. Glenn, 48 now, and so true, Bruce. New creeks are turning up daily. At 48, the sounds start to show up that you never heard before. You can't believe you're making them. It's incredible. Cool Jazz, bring an air machine and turn the tub into a spa. D&G, Cool Jazz. I wish we had our group cruise on the Symphony in September. The Encore will be in Alaska, so we are excited. It beats 11K for Disney Alaska, though. Yeah, Sandra, sounds great. Sheila, Nurse Nancy, I think it might be a banned item, Cool Jazz. Kumbaya, Sheila says, Bruce should make a shirt with that on it. Kumbaya. Thank you, Sheila. Nurse Nancy, that's for sure, Sheila. We're all around the campfire here. Oh, my God. Tom Henry says, I'd rather do the Jewel in Alaska, smaller ship for the inside passage. I'm in the county. I'm in Orange County, New York, says Sandra. Right on. Joy is a cabin class all its own, says Cool Jazz. And the Sullivan County, too, as I am moving. Right on, Sandra. Let's see. Any other comments coming in here? Let me just go through here. Sheila, you can pretend to be doctor like Cool Jazz, driving with Bruce. Lynn, we did a Baltic cruise on MSC. Worst cruise ever. Lots of people pushing and shoving when getting on and off the ship. So unorganized. There was never enough food in the buffet. Not enough food in a buffet. What the heck is that? That's ridiculous. How can there not be enough food in a buffet? You know how many people are on the ship. You know how many people, how long they're on the ship. You got to have enough food. I mean, come on. That's something's not right. That's crazy. Nurse Nancy, if you had a certain type of measles, you should have antibodies against getting the same type, but there are different types of measles. Nurse Nancy, oh my gosh, there's so much to learn about this. Bruce, better be careful. Might be a knock on the door, says Cool Jazz. Sandra, that's the new line. Virgin, sorry, I forgot. Is that the new line? Virgin Voyages is coming next year. They'll start next year, Sandra. Let's see. Only one doctor per chat room, Sheila. Let's go, Madeira, California. D&G, thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Madeira, you're in Madeira near Fresno. I'm too tired, guys. I'm not at home. I'm in Calgary, and I'm kind of working a little bit here. But I'm so glad you're here. Nancy Adams, Sheila, I went on the Explorer of the Seas Alaskan cruise back in August. It was great. Nurse Nancy, I had to get an MMR booster before going into nursing school eons ago. Sheila, sounds wonderful, Nancy. Cool Jazz, hope no one gets the Caribbean measles. Yeah, I would hope so too. No problem. I'll send pictures, says Lynn. Right on. Bingo Brew Tea giving me one of those. How many thumbs ups we got? 53 thumbs ups. Thank you, everybody. I get those same commercials every day, says Debbie Manuel. The same commercials every day. Debbie, I have a different brand, Nurse Nancy, but it would be at least like some different commercial only once in a while. Yeah, what can I say? These crazy commercials always reminds me of my flab, says Nurse Nancy. Oh my gosh. Tom Henry, FYI, everyone, next cruise departs New York City in November, and we expect to meet Cool Jazz. Note to self, make sure the hotel has a couch. And I think I've caught everybody here. Looks like I've caught all the messages right up to you guys. Fantastic. Look, thank you for joining me today. If you get a chance to see my video that I made today and the one I made a few days ago, please check them out. I hope you like them. Give them a thumbs up. Please share any of my short videos if you can with friends on Facebook or any other social media. Help my channel grow and expand its reach. Thank you for the thumbs ups today. I got 54. Just another one just came in. 54 thumbs ups have come in now for the day. Thank you for that, everybody, and joining me. Thank you for all your support of my channel, Traveling with Bruce merchandise, Amazon, the link that I have to Amazon. Thank you for visiting that, folks. I appreciate that very much. And I will see you tomorrow, the day after tomorrow. I will see you Friday at 5 o'clock Eastern Time for my last show from Calgary. And the next show you will catch me on will be Monday from Creston. So not too much going on the next few days as far as the show goes, but I got a lot of running around to do here, and we got to drive back to Creston on Sunday. So I look forward to catching all of you tomorrow, day after tomorrow, and on Monday. In the meantime, stay safe, stay warm, stay healthy out there. Thanks for joining me and all your kind words, your positive thoughts. 57 and counting thumbs ups. Thank you. And everyone is saying, take it easy. Great show. Have a good night, everybody. Hugs to everybody. And same to all of you. Thank you for joining me. It's Bruce from Calgary saying, see you later, everybody. Have a good night, and we'll talk to you day after tomorrow. Bye for now.